For those of you who are watching this type of event for the first time, these are the best bodybuilders in the world who weigh 212 pounds or less. It's a division that was created a while back, and it's opened the door for a very competitive, very spirited part of the bodybuilding world. And its reigning champion, Flex Lewis, is looking for another title. And Sean Ray, this 212 battle, from what I'm gathering, is very much to be determined.
Well, you could say that, Dan. I mean, this is a stronghold title that was made for someone like James Flex Lewis, and he is looking at the future right now in terms of Ashkenani. Ahmad comes all the way from Kuwait. He's a decorated bodybuilder, won the amateur Australia Arnold Classic, and then went into Columbus this past March and held off some veterans in the form of David Henry and Jose Raymond to win that title, and has been the talk of the 212 division with the exception of James Flex Lewis. And I got to tell you, he seems to be a very big fan of Flex Lewis, and I think he's going to have to get more stage times with Flex Lewis to believe that he can actually beat Flex Lewis. It's much a mental game as it is a physical, but I can tell you, I think Ashkenani was a little bit tighter and just a little bit drier back in March, but he's definitely very close to where he should be to at least make a statement.
Well, things are happening fast for Ashkenani. He got his pro card by winning the Arnold Classic Australia Amateur event and won his professional debut a year ago in Tampa at Tim Gardner's event. He was runner-up at this event here a year ago, and he's really put himself in position to make a run at the title. Most people felt coming in that if there was anybody that was well-suited to take out the champ, it was Ahmad Ashkenani from Kuwait.
Well, nobody outworks Ahmad. Ahmad eats, sleeps, and breathes bodybuilding. This is a bodybuilder's bodybuilder. Could certainly use a little bit more thigh separation, but his back is as wide as Big Ramy on the frame that he has for this division. Has got to maintain tight control of the midsection. I can't emphasize that enough because it can make or break you, especially when you got James Flex Lewis in his lineup. The arms, the delts, the pecs, the back, it's all there. He just needs a little bit more refinement in terms of conditioning, but he's got plenty of time to do that.
Sean, we really should welcome our viewers over in Kuwait. That part of the world has become serious about bodybuilding. Some of our top bodybuilding talent is coming to us by way of Kuwait. We've heard a lot about folks over at Oxygen Gym and the caliber of bodybuilders that are coming out of there. Also, a lot of the American trainers who are going over there to work with these athletes.
It's a very conducive atmosphere over there, and let's tip our hat to Beta Budai, who's made that atmosphere environmentally friendly for the bodybuilder. They're like the boxers that flock to Las Vegas to train for the big fights. These guys are making the pilgrimage over there. They know that there's only bodybuilding over there. There's no distractions. You go to Kuwait, you're going there to train and train hard. There's no bright lights in big city and nightclubs and that type of distraction for these guys. It is a camp. And don't get me wrong, when they're there, they put in the work, and you see that when you look at these guys here.
All right, there he is, Ahmad Ashkenani. It was good. The question is it good enough to take out Flex Lewis? And we're going to find out. But once again, you're only going to get to see our top 5 posing routines in the 212 division.
Finalist from the USA, former 202 Olympia champion, David Henry.
And you're going to look at David Henry, as Bob mentioned.
Our next competitor won the USA, won his first pro show, and here he is at his first Olympia. Please welcome Derek Lunsford.
Well, you talk about things happening fast for Derek Lunsford. He is off and running. Bob just mentioned he was your 2017 USA overall champ. And if you're looking at the calendar,
And wound up in third place. This guy's got his head on straight. He's got all the elements and all the tools. And a break that you're talking about, again, he can come back next year and be vying for the winner.
Our next finalist from the USA, the Boston Mass, Jose Raymond.
well, amazingly enough, Jose Raymond is competing in the Olympia for the 9th consecutive year. He's actually been in this contest every year since he's a pro. I mentioned that last night as well. I think it's one of the more remarkable achievements that he's been able to get here year in and year out. He was runner-up at this contest a couple years back in 2015, and he has really become one of the more popular bodybuilders in the world. And he is a perfect example of why the 212 division works, because physiques like this, athletes like Jose Raymond are given a place to compete and also a place to build enormous followings.
He's got a huge fan base, Dan. Jose is a true Bostonian, and to hear this guy talk about the passion of bodybuilding, which he shared with his brother Tito, who's a very successful personal trainer who also married a fitness model in Amy Fodley from way back in the 90s. The fitness runs in the family, and Jose Raymond has been doing it at a very high level for a very long time.
He's obviously in great shape tonight. He's got that gnarly, grainy muscle. And this is your classic Jose Raymond physique.
Yeah, and he always says that. You always say gnarly. You use the word gnarly. You know what? That's what I am. I'm a gnarly body. He eats it up, man. I mean, he's got that vascularity. His back is one of his strong points. He did have a knee problem a year ago, which actually he said he doesn't feel any pain. He's able to squat with full reps. So this is the first time he's able to actually come in the Olympia injury-free and feel like he's done the business.
I always say, you ever want to see something really incredible in bodybuilding, there's certain things that just kind of blow your mind. If you're up close to Jose and you get a chance to see his forearms are the size of most people's legs. This is a very big, thick bodybuilder, happens to be one of the nicest guys in the sport.
Absolutely. You're not going to be a nicer, more laid-back, chilled-out bodybuilder, but you go in the gym and he's all business. You don't want to get into his training circle unless you plan on actually doing the business.
I'll wait outside.
One of the stronger ones. He's little, but he's as strong as an ox.
Thank you, Jose Raymond. is your 5-time reigning and defending 212 Olympia champion, James Flex Lewis.
Oh, here he is. In each of the last 5 years, he has been the last man standing, a 5-time reigning champion. No one has ever won this division, this title, more than Flex Lewis.
Your 5-time Olympia champion, Flex Lewis.
Bringing out the athletes who competed here in the 212 division and are not among the top 5. And Sean Ray, it looks like we have ourselves a bit of a battle now. With regard to Flex Lewis, the talk was, did he open the door to create an opportunity for somebody else? And I don't know that he did, but I certainly don't know that there's anybody in this lineup who's better than Flex Lewis tonight.
No, I mean, the door was open. Nobody sees the day. This was Ahmad Ashkanani's show to win. But again, Ahmad's coming all the way from Kuwait. It's a long trip to come from Kuwait, whereas James came in from Florida. Granted, he had all those disadvantages. However, James is that good, and Ashkanani may have served a little bit better by arriving in Las Vegas maybe a couple of weeks early to train here instead of a couple of days early. Right now, I think James did enough to pull this title off.
Well, these guys trying to make the most of their stage time, their opportunity, and you know, a bunch of streaks are on the line tonight. Phil Heath and Flex Lewis both hoping to reign supreme for another year. Hamburger, and he's going to take these 5 through the same comparisons that you saw in the bigger division, and we're going to get a clearer sense for how these guys look, with the anticipation that Flex Lewis at this point is going to be difficult to take out.
Well, and Dan, this is not bodybuilding light. These are professionals. They do the exact same thing as the open competitors do.
Time for our confirmation round of scoring. Let's send it down to the judges. Big Steve.
Thank you, Bob. Flex and Derek switch. Ahmad and David switch. Gentlemen, quarter turn to the right. Quarter turn
so
to the right.
That is the comparison everyone wanted to see. Flex Lewis right next to Ahmad Ashkanani, flanked by Jose Raymond on the other side. And Sean, I'm going to take you through this the way I took you through
Quarter
the last
turn
time.
to the right.
Give me a sense for how these guys compare, and we'll start with this quarter turn and just kind of break it down, because this is Flex Lewis, who
Face
doesn't
front.
really fare well in that particular shot, and it's a tough angle too.
None of them look fare well in that particular pose, and again, no one sees the moment as we get to conditioning. Jose Raymond, however,
Looks better.
is absolutely
Front
coming
double
on
bicep.
strong, and Ashkanani has everything to be worried about in the form of Jose Raymond. Now, Derek, if he was a little bit darker, again, he would look a little bit more competitive and should be moved
lat
inside
spread.
on the opposite side of James Flex Lewis next to
I'll tell you what, if this was a
Jose.
horse race, they'd be saying, around the final stretch they come, and here comes Jose Raymond.
Absolutely.
Because he's making a strong final bid to make a run at this thing, because Jose Raymond's body has come to life.
And it does in the comparisons, because you can see the differences between the physiques now.
Back
So this is
double
where Jose
bicep.
has a tendency to have it over some of the other guys. Ashkanani seemed to be a little bit more smoother, especially from the rear.
Sean, is it fair to say that right now Flex Lewis's body is having a hard time hanging on?
Absolutely. I mean, it's tired, I'm sure. He's been under the gun and he's been stressed. No one's
Back
coming
lat
in
spread.
to take the title from him. However, I give the back double bicep to Jose Raymond.
Well, the plot thickens here. Again, coming into this thing, we thought Flex Lewis had a stronghold on this title, but as the night progresses, the question is it too
Side
late?
tricep.
Has enough of this contest already happened that's going to solidify Flex's position? But Ashkanani and Jose Raymond right now are making things a little bit more interesting than I think Flex was prepared for.
You're right, and when I'm looking at Flex, it doesn't look like he's digging in deep. It doesn't even look like he's hitting that side tricep.
Yep.
It almost looks like a half attempt, and the strain is in the face rather than on the physique. You know, you have to flex the physique. You have to practice those
Abdominals and
posings.
thighs.
That's not a good side tricep when you're facing the judges.
He's a little bit more cerebral than Flex Lewis usually is. Like you said, he's usually all about the intensity, all about the swagger, and right now, I'm not seeing it from him.
Well, you're seeing a struggle. The face is strained. Jose's over
Favorite
here
most
smiling.
muscular?
He's like, you know, he's been there before. I think James right now has got to realize that this is a contest where you're supposed to shine. It's supposed to look easy. He's making it look like it's hard, and it's because his body
Gentlemen,
is
if you're
not
ready,
there as it
pose
normally
down.
is.
All right, well, here they are. It's pose down time
All
here
right,
at the
here we go,
Olympia,
folks, for the
under
title,
212.
pose
And,
down.
you know, right now, based on the way those images played out, Flex Lewis has his hands full. They moved Flex Lewis to the center of that call out, but they never mixed it up after that.
No, and it's again, nobody's slamming the door on James. And I mean, there you saw James touch Jose on the glutes. Jose can't stand next to him from the hamstrings, glutes, and calves. However, Jose is very competitive in the rear double bicep because James Lewis is a little bit narrow. But again, when you turn around to the front, this is where Jose struggles against the size of James Flex Lewis's biceps. And right now, this is what Flex Lewis wants. He wants this back double bicep. Jose wins it on the upper side, but Flex Lewis wins it on the lower side.
Now, I'll add this about this division. One of the things that makes the 212 division unique is that these guys are all genuinely friendly with each other.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of camaraderie.
A lot of camaraderie in this division. They spend the entire year staying in touch with each other, supporting each other, texting each other. They'll all tell you that these aren't real rivalries. These guys are very, very friendly because they have an appreciation because they're both doing it. They're all doing it the same way.
Yeah, they're having fun. Dan, that's lost on the open category. The open guys are out there. They're all about the business and about making the money, and they kind of travel in their own little tribes and their own pack. But here, you're right. These guys develop friendships. Derek will learn to get a little bit darker from these veterans.
What a
Thank
thrill
you
for
very
Derek
much,
Lunsford to
guys.
get to stand next to the legendary David Henry. But we're going to go ahead and take a quick break now. We're back to Vegas
Stage, gentlemen.
after a break.
RC will take that fifth place award, the check for $3,000 to our fifth place finisher, Derek Lunsford.
All right, well, a real strong showing for Derek Lunsford. He enters his first Olympia after winning in the USAs and winning in Tampa, and he's top 5 in the world. So I'd say his career is off and running. And Sean Ray, Derek settles in for 5th place.
Absolutely. I believe he's relieved, excited. He's probably more happy about what happened here than the victory that got him here, because this right now is the beginning, not the end of his career.
Well, Derek is going through the motions as a rookie Olympia competitor. He is being instructed by Bob Ciccarello as to what to do, because right now the photographers want to take his
Presenting
picture.
the fourth place award, representing Amazon Sports Nutrition, is Stefani Ayanon. Please take the fourth place award, the check for $5,000 to our fourth place finisher, David Henry.
There he is. David Henry has to settle for fourth place. The Dexter Jackson of the 212 division, a former champion, remains among the very best in the world. Congratulations to David Henry, really one of the classiest bodybuilders in the business, and he continues to bring it, and he'll take fourth place here at the 2017 Olympia.
Nothing to be sad about there. David Henry does the business. He's been here before.
The rookies, they don't want to let it down. The veterans, they just kick it over there. Presenting the third place award, representing Amazon Sports Nutrition, Miss Erin Blevins.
This is where it gets interesting, Dan. I mean, Ashkanani and Jose.
She will take the third place check for $10,000, the Olympia bronze medal, to our third place finisher, Jose Raymond.
Well, this is a tough one. I can tell you right now, Jose Raymond is going to feel like he deserved better. But you're probably looking at three guys up there right now that each could make a really good case for a different outcome, each their own case for having won this thing. They all brought something just a little bit different, and this was a very impressive Jose Raymond.
No doubt, he has nothing to hold his head down about. He fought the good fight. I didn't think he was actually going to make it here after the knee injury. And mind you, he had a dismal appearance in March at the Arnold Classic, where, of course, Ashkanani won. He fought his way back. He represented well. Nothing to be ashamed of.
In the center square, please.
All right, our coverage continues from Las Vegas. Dan Solomon, along with Sean Ray, we are about to learn who the best bodybuilder in the world under 213 pounds, the 212 division. Title is up for grabs, and it's between Ahmad Ashkanani and James Flex
Don't worry,
Lewis.
Jim, I won't draw this out too long.
A lot at stake for James Flex Lewis, going for number 6, I believe it is, Dan.
And Ashkanani going
Folks, in
for number
Olympia
1.
tradition, I will now announce the winner of your 2017 212 Olympia champion. Please take the first place award, the first place check for $40,000, the Olympia gold medal, and the title of 2017 212 Olympia champion, to 6-time champion Flex Lewis.
And there it is, for the 6th time, Flex Lewis remains on top of the bodybuilding world in the Olympia under 212 division. And a really big fight for Flex Lewis. It's been a tough year, it's been a tough several months, and I know he was quick to recognize the dedication that he made of this weekend's effort to the late Dallas McCarver. He wanted to make sure everyone knew that this was for Dallas, and for now, Flex Lewis will remain atop the sport for another year. Ahmad Ashkanani, an impressive showing as well. He'll settle for second. He'll bring that second place trophy all the way back to Kuwait, where, if I had to guess, come a year from now, Ahmad Ashkanani might be the favorite to take this title. The question is, how much longer is Flex Lewis going to compete in this division? Only time will tell. But first things first, Flex Lewis will celebrate his 6th Olympia title.
Even on an off day, it shows you how good and dangerous James Flex Lewis actually is in this division. The ground was not closed. The gap was not closed by Ashkanani, and I believe firmly that he will be back a year from now, going for number 7,
And one more pose, gentlemen.
probably doing it again.
A lot of people wonder what that physique can do if it was given the freedom to grow beyond 212 pounds. I've talked to his trainer, Neil Hill, about it. Flex Lewis and I have talked about it. And we're going to go ahead and, I guess, take a break right now as we continue our coverage here at Olympia Weekend.